It's where the big stories live, right here on Plus TV Africa. You're watching Tea Time, an entertainment news program where we bring you all of the hottest entertainment stories. Yes, my name is Tokunbo Taiwo, together with my co-anchors Ife Oshinkeye and Lakwe Banjo. Hi, guys.
What's up, Tokunbo?
Hi, Tokunbo.
We have missed you.
I've missed you too.
Yes, it's been like a month or a year.
Chill out.
Oh, please speak for yourself.
Oh, you haven't missed me?
Just
He's missed you the most, actually.
I know. When he saw me, he gave me a big hug. Don't lie, just on camera now.
Oh, so what's new?
Nothing. I've just been away. I've had a very good time away.
Yeah, away. Have you been to Her Majesty's to see the Queen?
No, I didn't go to London, guys. I actually went for my uncle's funeral, so it was. Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you.
Oh.
Is that why you're still wearing black?
No.
You look good in black, actually.
Seriously, was that coincidental or you're still in mourning?
No, black's my favourite colour. You should know that right now.
Yeah, I know. It's a London thing, isn't it? Anyway, moving on. Yes. So I'm really quite excited about today's show because we've got a celebrity in the studio. Yes, we're going to be talking to him. We're going to be finding out what really makes him tick. Yes, but before I tell you who we're talking to, we're going to be discussing, first of all, our major story for today. Yes, so keep watching if you want to find out who we're talking to, and then we'll disclose that later on. But first, we're going on to our first story, which is on Bunk Gang, and he shot himself basically during a live video shoot. Can you imagine? Can you?
Okay, that's crazy.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And before we even delve deep, I have to comment on like the videos because I saw him crying.
Was it on a Facebook or Instagram live?
Instagram.
And it was so emotional
Instagram
because like you could see he wasn't making any sounds. The tears were just pouring out silently.
And then he captioned it as nobody wants to help me out.
It's sad because I think
it really is sad.
Yeah,
because
I do think it's a case of like mental health.
Yeah.
And him trying to like still maintain.
So you don't think this is one of his stunts that has gone wrong or actually well intended initially?
Nah, well, it could be a publicity stunt.
Yes, because that's what some people are saying.
Because I didn't know who he was until this happened.
Because do you know why a lot of people are not feeling so sorry for this guy? Because like, contrary to the case of Demi Lovato, she's been crying out for help. She's been making it obvious that she has drug addiction problem. But in his case, he's doing it because it's fun and because he can afford it. And then he got hooked on different drugs, and now you're making it look like, oh, you need help. The only reason why I take drugs is because I'm lonely. Yes, we understand. Yeah, that could be the reason, but
if I let me quickly cut in, sorry, do you not believe him?
No, I do believe him, but I'm saying why a lot of people are not feeling sorry, because I read the comment section and this is what people are saying, like, this is your problem. Your problem is you're taking too much drugs, and that is why. Because just like a week ago or two ago, it was on the Jump Show, and then it got really high, like
but why is he taking so much drugs?
Exactly.
That's the point.
Even at the time that this incident happened, they said he was really high.
That's what I'm saying. But
he couldn't feel the pain. He was there crying, and he couldn't move. He was just laughing.
We haven't come to a conclusion as to why he's taking so much drugs, because it could be the fact that he is lonely.
I think
and he's
in his case, this is what happens.
He's also screaming out now because of what you said. You know, he's trying to reach out to people, and I think, you know, but he's not being able.
This is what happens when we give fame to people that do not deserve it. Now, this guy got popular.
Seriously?
Yes.
No, you can't say that. Even Lakwe doesn't agree.
This guy got popular for all the wrong reasons to start with. And then we gave him a lot of money because of your stupidity. Now, we gave him so much money, he started using a lot of drugs. And then the people in his circle will be yes man. Because everything he does, nobody will be able to tell him the truth.
Are you blaming it on his money, or are you blaming it on the talent, or are you blaming it on
the fact that social media has allowed us to give fame to the wrong people?
So you're blaming social media?
This guy doesn't deserve it because, first of all, his music is crap.
How would you say that he's not deserving? Good heavens!
He's not deserving because his music is crap. Now he had a
feature with Nicki Minaj, didn't he?
So anybody can get a feature with Nicki Minaj with the right money.
Nicki Minaj
with the right amount of money, you will get a feature with Nicki.
No, but even so, she would turn things down.
What's his name? Wellington or Speedy Darlington will get a feature with Nicki Minaj if he has enough money.
It's not about the money though, because she can't.
It's about the money. Nicki Minaj is a business. She has a team that wants to make money for
anyone and anyone, as long as they have.
You can get a feature with Nicki Minaj.
Who's that Nigerian artist that got a feature with? I can't remember who it was.
With who?
What's that guy called? The light-skinned guy, and his song was famous for a very long time. It was like recent. He got a feature with Fetty Wap.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Ayo J.
Yeah. And where is
yeah,
he
but
now?
Ayo J is a very good artist.
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm saying I'm defending you.
No, you can't be comparing Ayo J and
No, I'm saying if you have enough money to pay for a feature, you'll get the feature.
Everybody's getting features these days.
Okay, guys, let's not digress. Let's come back to
Wale and Fino. You get we get features. You get so that one is not even the issue now.
So back to the story, though.
Back to the story. Bungang shot himself. Apparently, he came out to say that okay, he has street problems and some people shot at him. But someone close to him and the source that was at the hospital when they brought him in was like, this guy came in because he shot himself, self-inflicted gunshot wounds. And then the police came to the hospital and they left just as soon as they came in and without filing any charges against him or against anybody. So this is obviously the use of too much drug intake. You know,
what I'm saying is, if we can't really say that until we really know the ins and out of what really happened. There's no statement that has been released.
No, I'm telling you that sources close to him, and I'm giving you examples of when he has done a lot of stupid things, being intoxicated.
Okay, you mean all
like, did you see the video of the Jump Show, the Jump Show radio interview? He was about to throw up. Now, his team was trying to get him up, and he fell face flat. Like, it went for the
Do you know what? I agree with everything you're saying, that he's a huge drug user, and like, that's probably why he's causing these erratic decisions. But I'm saying, let's go back from that. He said in this video that, oh, you know, he's lonely, he's sad, he's crying, and blah, blah, blah. And this is why he's made up this whole story as to why he shot himself, and he's blaming it on streets and street violence now. I'm saying he could actually be lonely, which is why he's using the street drugs. And it might not be because of the money, because drug users don't start because they have loads of money. That allows you access to more drugs. But he's probably started using, because obviously he's, you know, African American. He's probably
I'm liking your line of thinking here.
Yeah, because he's probably grown up around drug use anyway. He's probably seen a lot of crackheads around his neighborhood. Like, that's the reality of living in you know, African American societies. Now, he's probably been using drugs already, so now he's got more money, he's probably increased his usage. But that doesn't mean that doesn't take away the fact that he could actually be lonely and be depressed. And,
So if based on what Lakwe has said, you know, do you still think it's social media or too much money?
Look, I never went against it. I'm just saying this is what happens. Obviously, you will get depressed when you have so much money and then you don't have people to advise you on the
what
real
I want
thing.
to ask is,
now, I'm getting there. Now, I'm saying this guy, it's not like we don't believe him. I'm saying people are not feeling so sorry for him because of his reputation. Do you understand? But in this case, this guy could have shot himself in the head. He could have taken his own life. So so we have to take this seriously at the same time. He needs to get help. He needs to get rehabilitated. He needs to get checked into a mental institution, because this is someone that is obviously crying out for help, but nobody is listening to him because he has a very terrible reputation. In the case of Demi Lovato, she's getting global support from everybody. And even people in his comment section are saying that, look, all our attention is for Demi right now. We don't care about you. Do you understand? And it's just because of his reputation.
Okay. Lakwe, do you want to conclude, or you?
No, I think that was a good conclusion. What if has kind of covered all grounds there, and I do agree with him. He does need some sort of help, whether that's rehabilitation or he needs to be sectioned, whichever.
Okay. All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be telling you who's in the studio with us. A big celebrity, a very well-known rapper. We'll be telling you all about that when we come back right from this quick break.
Sometimes life has more questions than answers, and every teardrop seems to drown your laughter. But even when it hurts, there's someone who knows that everybody hurts, everybody cries. And you will be fine.
Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. Before the break, we told you we had a studio guest, and it's time to introduce that studio guest. So he's an actor, he's an advocate for the End SARS campaign, he's a UN ambassador, he's a CEO as well. So please, ladies and gentlemen, with over 150,000 followers on Instagram, allow me to introduce to you Ruggedman.
Okay, this is the first time I'm being introduced and my Instagram is involved.
Okay, you don't like...
No, I just said it's the first time.
Oh, I see. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it shows you how well social media is getting involved in people's lives.
Okay, I'm glad you start with social media because I wanted to get your take on social media and how it's affecting celebrities worldwide.
Well, it's affecting celebrities both ways, negatively and positively. Okay. Positively because... you can use that to sell yourself. Use it to sell whatever product you have. Use it to pass your messages, especially if they're positive messages. You know, but negatively because people can get at you straight. People can get at you. There's no way you say you will not see it unless you're not the one handling, you know, your social media, your platform yourself.
All right, then let me quickly ask you, you know, because I wanted to quickly ask, because I think your name is actually synonymous with End SARS, you know, so I wanted to like hone in on that a little bit, you know. I'm sure my colleagues have a lot of questions to ask you, but I just wanted to start with the End SARS.
Yeah, just before we move on to the SARS thing, I just wanted to ask, how do you feel like, you know, social media has affected you personally? Like, what has been your biggest backlash on social media?
My biggest backlash, it was a long time ago. It actually lasted 6 years, though.
Oh wow! How did you?
Yeah, I think I've had like the longest when it comes to controversy or anything, social media-wise. I think I've had the longest. Nobody's has lasted 6 years, so that's where I got the backlash. It has to do with me. A rumor about me having something to do with my friend's wife.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah! Wow.
Oh wow! Okay.
And that lasted 6 years. So trust me.
And how did you deal with that?
Well, I stayed me. You know, I stayed me. What I say is only the guilty are afraid. You know, I stayed me. I let people know. I went shaggy on them. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. And that was what I stuck to until after 6 years. I was exonerated finally.
So what's your relationship with Nice now?
Well, cool. We still did a new song.
Yeah, and I think I saw you guys on your Rugged Premier League.
Yeah. No, we're cool. It was just a misunderstanding between two, you know, old friends. Ego came into play, and then that's where the negative part of social media comes into it. When people start talking back and forth, and people pick sides, and then if you're not careful, you get carried away. And you know, it's like people saying, "Oh, we've seen her; she's hard. She never says sorry." They keep saying that on social media, and then you do something wrong, and because you don't want to disappoint the people who say you are hard, you don't say sorry. Then you might just be fooled into not wanting to say sorry, just to keep that thing. You know, that's why I say ego came into it. But later on, he came here, apologized, and we're cool.
What about the pressure social media puts on a lot of artists, living the fake life? Some of them, they can't afford the lifestyle they live.
That's them.
Yeah.
Not me. Yeah. That's why I say I stay me. I'm me. The me you're seeing now is the me you see 10 years from now. The me you're seeing now is the me. Whoever you met me like years ago, back. This is me, no change really. So I do my music, me. I interact with people, me. I won't come in here and go, "Oh, good afternoon, it's Ruggedman," you know, because I've traveled a lot, you know. I've been to America, ain't it? If you get, I don't know if you get that. You know, you say you've been to America, but you're speaking with a British accent. I'm not. I'm just me. I'm a happy-go-lucky, but no nonsense taking person.
And fast forward from the 6-year backlash and that whole issue there. How have you now progressed from that to being an activist, as I would like to put it, for the End SARS campaign?
I'd say I'd always been an activist somewhat, because the very first song that blew major for me was a song where I actually constructively criticized a couple of artists back then. You know, and that was a long time ago. I'm talking like 2000. When were you in 2000? You understand? So I've always been someone who I've always wanted to be there for people. I can't be in a place where someone is being bullied and not say or do something if I can. So that's how I've been. Before I came into the industry proper, I felt mediocrity was being celebrated. So I thought to myself, I had a choice to do one of two things. leave them with it and do something else, or do something about it. So I decided to do something about it, and that's how the song was born, where I criticized a couple of big shots back then, people who were actually running the industry back then, and that kind of like just opened the eyes of a lot of people, and that kind of like just paved the way for a lot of musicians to be like, okay, so meaning we can stand up for ourselves, meaning we don't allow some group of people monopolize the industry. I actually broke that monopoly, and a lot of people just in fact, I was like, someone said I was like the Moses that parted the Red Sea, and the Israelites just moved in, and I'm happy for that. So that's the kind of person I am. So me seeing the whole videos and pictures and hearing stories of police brutality, I don't really even have to be an activist to know that's wrong. You understand? So when they ask me why are you doing this, I say because I'm Nigerian, and it's because it's what a normal citizen of a country should do.
And obviously, apart from all the citizens, general people that have been victims of the SARS police brutality, there's been a lot of celebrities that have actually been targets as well.
Yeah, finally now.
Yeah, and I mean, the woman, I can't remember what her name is.
CSP Dolapo.
Yes, she's just recently come out and said that they're overhyping it. A lot of celebrities are making this up. What do you have to say about that?
She's wrong on that part. I keep saying, one thing I keep saying to her and to any other police officer out there, is not about coming to defend the police. As a police officer, yes, I know. Defend the good ones, especially if you have proof. But when something is wrong, if half of the people complaining cannot be wrong. If 100 people are complaining about the same thing, about the same people, they can't be wrong. Then which celebrity is making it up? Tell us who they are, so we check it. Is it Dr. Sid, who we saw videos and pictures? Is it Tillerman, who we saw his shirt ripped up? You understand? Is it Charles Okocha? Well, why? Is it him? We saw the video. Yeah. You understand? So who else? We've seen all that. And then that's just the celebrities. So I'm like, okay, so which celebrity is making it up? Who is overhyping it? I have not been molested, so I've not complained about myself getting brutalized or anything or extorted, but we see it out there. We have the videos, we have pictures. Yeah. As I'm speaking to you today, I'm on my way. Once I'm done here, I'm actually going to Ikeja, SARS headquarters, because we got news about a case of a guy who was arrested, and then he's been held for 4 days. And what we heard was they're trying to force him to sign a statement he didn't write. So when I heard that, I got in touch with the head of SARS Lagos, and he was now like, okay, he's spoken, he's found out, yes, the man is actually being held, but he's guilty of what he was arrested for. So, but what I didn't ask him over the phone was, so why are you holding him for 4 days? You're supposed to hold him for 24 hours, take him to court the next day. Or in a case where the judge is not available, you can hold him for 48 hours. But I've turned to
So what do you stand for? Are you standing for SARS reformation or eradication? What do you stand for?
When people say end SARS, they make it sound as if you want to kill everybody in police enforcement. No. Ending SARS is probably just yielding to what the people are asking for. If I add all the police people, I'll say over 100 million people say, get these people off the road. You're supposed to get them off the road. Because you work for the people. The people don't work for you. That's one thing a lot of Nigerian politicians and policemen seem to have forgotten. You work for us. We don't work for you. So if we say we don't like this, we don't like this, don't argue with us. You understand? But they just have this God, what would I call it now? God complex. Once they have that uniform on and a gun, they feel they are above the law kind of thing, which is wrong. And if you don't stand up and fight that, in Nigeria, we know if we let something stay too long, it becomes a norm. So that's why so if you talk about end SARS, reform SARS, we need all of that. So even if you scrap SARS, you can tomorrow bring out FAS. But as long as you make sure you recruit the right people, they have the right mentality, they know that you're supposed to be working for the people and not brutalizing the people. Because it's actually really sad when people who you're supposed to run to for protection, you now need protection from them. So whether they end SARS or don't end SARS, reform the Nigerian police force. Because once you reform the Nigerian police force, it will affect SARS. It will bring the right type of people into SARS. Because I'm sure if you meet a SARS officer today and he meets you, oh, hello, good morning. How are you doing? My name is Officer I'm from SARS, and we're actually stopping cars and searching. May I search your car, please? Trust me, you will tell him, oh, officer, you will tell him to come in.
Nothing in your car.
Yes, that's if you have nothing. But if you have something, you're on your own.
Okay. Let me quickly ask you, you know, I know you've explained, but I really want to get to the bottom of it because there's so many problems in Nigeria. So I want to get why you are so vested in this End SARS campaign thing. Yes, because of all of the problems in Nigeria, I think you're more vocal about this more than any other one. So I'm like, why? Because, and you've rightly said as well that you haven't had a personal encounter. So I still don't get why. Because
nobody, Major, nobody's speaking for this.
Yeah.
There's nobody speaking for this one. And until I joined, until I started speaking, it wasn't that loud. It was just so few, you know, it was just words we were reading on Twitter here and there kind of thing. But the day I started talking about it, and, you know, I started talking about it, I just started like growing. The awareness became a bit louder, and you will not believe the type of hope my getting involved has given a couple of Nigerians. You know, you don't want to feel hopeless. Trust me, that's one feeling you don't want to have. Imagine a feeling of hopelessness where you know that you can't go out, you know, and just go out and come back in. I remember in Nigeria when 2 a.m., 3 a.m. we're on the streets, we're sitting outside, everybody's strolling, no issues. But now you can't. Now even the armed robbers are, I don't even think they're doing anything anymore because some SARS people have taken over their jobs. You understand? So I'm in this because it needs to stop. Nigeria needs to be a country where we're free. That doesn't happen in Nigeria anymore. Now imagine you traveling and they stop you on the road and they ask you, you have a laptop, you have maybe a 10-year-old laptop, and they ask you for the receipt of your laptop. Who travels or who moves around with a receipt of his laptop or his phone? Or the clearing papers for his car? Nobody drives with that. Even the police would normally back then tell you, don't go around with your original car papers. Have photocopies. But now they will ask you for the original papers, they ask you for everything, they ask you for, why don't you have the original with you? Who does that? So, look, what I'm doing is not because somebody said one time that maybe I was getting paid. I'm like, getting paid to fight for you? Did you pay me? No. So if I was getting paid to do this kind of thing, I would not be living in Nigeria because I would have probably made a lot of money and just left. Left you to your SARS. You know, but I'm only in this because, like I said, if you're a celebrity and you have a particular voice that the people listen to or the people can hear, if you're in a position to speak and make a positive difference, do it. There was a time I put out a post and I said, I was talking to Nigerian entertainers. I said, look, some of these people being brutalized and extorted are your fans. Sometimes some of them were most likely coming from your show when they got brutalized and all that. So they support you. The least you can do is speak up for them. Even if you won't come out and carry a placard, at least speak for them. And then unfortunately, another celebrity came up and was like, I should stop trying to force people to fight my cause. Yeah, you know, what baffled me was, how is it my cause? I've not, like I said, I've not been brutalized, I've not been extorted, so how is it my cause? You know, and I'm not fighting for myself. I'm not saying Ruggedman for president or I'm saying, look, stop the brutality, it doesn't pay. And then she went on and like, I shouldn't try to force people, I should do whatever I want to do on my own. And the social media backlash came. She was not ready. She never has parents.
Yeah, she never has parents.
You understand? So I didn't even have to speak. The people I'd been fighting for a long time, they went for her for days. You know, so I'm not doing it because I'm gaining any financial thing from it. I'm doing it because, like I said to the entertainers out there, some of these people are my fans too. Okay, I wish we could talk some more, but unfortunately we're running short of time. So if you want to say some final words before we end the show. Okay, so please, I'm not all about police brutality. I am still Ruggedman, Ruggedy Baba. Okay, basically I have 3 brands right now. One is Ruggedman's clothing line. It's called 20th September Wears. This is one of them. This is one of them. I have one of the maddest reflector hoodies out right now. So just follow me on Instagram at RuggedBaba or at TSW by Ruggedman. And then also I have my Rugged Premier League FIFA tournament that I do now. Yes, we're doing 9 states, so we started from Calabar. So don't worry, check that out too, ruggedpremierleague.com. And then music-wise, I'm sure you were going to say, what about music? You know, but as I sit here, I'll tell you from August to September. Okay, no. Right now, I have new songs with Files the Bad Guy, Small Doctor, Mr. Real, Harry Song, Two-Face, Coca. I have all of these down. So from August, new songs are going to be coming out, and I promise a Ruggedman album for this year.
Could we have you back on the show, you know, to talk more about this before at that time?
Yes, because SARS has taken all the time.
Okay, brilliant. Because I also think that, you know, we haven't scratched the surface regarding so many things that we can talk to you about. So it would be good to sort of have you back on the show at some point in time. But we're pushed for time, so we're going to have to end the show. Join us later this afternoon for a brand new episode of Afternoon Tea Time. Until then, I have to thank my co-anchors, Ife Oshinkeye, Lakwe Banjo. Thank you very much for your contribution on the show. Thank you to our stylist as well, Kudi Empire, and the entire production team. I can't say goodbye without thanking our very studio guest, yes, Ruggedman. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Until later this afternoon, I am Tokumbo Taiwo saying thanks for watching and have yourself a good morning.